Let's do it. So question, because I don't remember. I know we're both live. So does that mean I'm live also? It say tap for sound. My bad. I tripped out.
Everybody, it's a second week of the NFL season, and I finally got my boy Julian back with me as we recap the Falcons and Packers. What's going on, boy?
Man, what's going on, dog? I'm not gonna lie. Before we even get into it, I'm hyped. We 2-0. First time I think since 2017.
Yes, sir.
I'm hyped. I'm feeling good. I got a lot of good to say. I got a lot of bad to say because I'm a football fan first. I try to push that narrative on everybody, so we can keep the bandwagon in to a minimum. Enjoy your team, but be a football fan first. That way you don't get blindsided by the emotions of the game, because we're Falcon fans. The emotions are always, but when you add logical football to it, you don't need that many aspirin. But I'm doing good, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were gonna go live yesterday, everybody that's tuned in, but as you can tell, my voice is still in the struggle. It was gone yesterday, to be honest with y'all. It was gone. I couldn't even do the show. But I'm like, Julian, we 2-0. I'm happy about that. To me, you need to win both of your home games to get yourself set up for a potential good season. You got 2 challenging games coming up in the next 2 weeks, but I mean, we'll tap into that when the time comes. But do you want to get a chance to take a look at a couple of the highlights from the Falcons YouTube page real quick?
Roll it.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get ready to go to the full screen. What's up, everybody that's tuned in, that's coming into the stream? We're going to go to the highlight.
And then be able to get some penetration, some pressure.
More muted because YouTube will block it. This that 3rd down to 12. I thought this was going to get picked off right here, actually. And this is the 1st and 10. This drop, man, I don't know about you, but this drive right here made me mad because we really supposed to score the touchdown on this drive.
I thought the play calling was consistent as far as getting the ball out of Desmond Ritter's hand real fast.
Yes, sir.
I love the screen on the first play of the game. Instead of forcing Desmond to do something crazy, get the ball out of Desmond's hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we ended up getting a 3 and out on this drive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
this is the cadence sack.
This, you know what I don't understand? Why don't we see that more on 3rd down? They dial up at the most inconvenient times.
I think that I don't want to call it an issue. I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to be consistent or not have to do our blitz packages so much. We don't get home with 4, so I don't want to see it. I'll be honest, I don't want to see us blitz a lot. I do want to see us start getting home with 4 more.
I agree with that 100%. Now this was a big 3rd down.
Beautiful. That was beautiful. That was all Dez. That was all Dez and Drake. That's beautiful. You could tell they work on that.
By the way, on that 3rd down conversion, the crowd screaming, "Go Pack, go!"
Here we go.
Oh, that's that Bijan run. Hey, man.
All I want to say is before we get started, who's the one who told y'all?
You definitely did. You definitely did.
That's all I'm saying. And for the viewers out there, that's a great play by AJ. I wish we could zoom in on the tech. If we could zoom in on the technique, one of these days, I want to show people proper cornerback technique because he killed it on that play. Keep going.
Yes, he did. It is, and you know something, man, it just impresses me watching Bijan Robinson. His vision is ridiculous.
It's elite already, dog.
We were just talking about this play right here when he rolled out and made something out of this.
We're gonna save that for the show, but we gotta start rolling the launch points more. We gotta start rolling the pocket and moving the launch points way more for Desmond Ridder. I'm not a fan of this stationary 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop that we do with him. Look at this beautiful play. Look at that. Look at that body on one of the best corners.
Zaire got worked a couple times.
Man, shots fired.
He really did. He got worked a couple times by Drake London in his game yesterday.
Man, more than a couple. It's another play they might show, they might not show. It was later on during the play with Drake versus Jari. I believe that should have been illegal touching on Jari, but Drake still bited him, so I guess it didn't matter.
This was a bad throw. I appreciate Matt Hollins because there should have been a touchdown because he was.
I'm gonna be honest. I gotta save Des on this one. He threw it from the third. He threw it from our 30 to the opponent's 15. That's 55 yards in the air, dog. That's a long throw.
That is true. I catch some slack right there.
That's a long, but not too much. That is underthrown, but I guess everybody can't be Patrick Mahomes.
That is true. That read option. I love this read option call.
We got to do that more. We don't do that enough.
It is funny because it was there the whole game. The entire game it was there.
Look at all the pre-snap motion that we do. I love that about Arthur Smith. We're going to run the hell out of some pre-motion.
Yes, we do. And this, oh man, I was sick.
He got to catch that. He got to catch that. I'm not giving you a pat on the ass for that. You got to catch that.
I agree 100%. Oh, I think this might be the play you talking about because he got worked on this.
That's the play. No, 100%. That you see how he got up? Because why are you? I'm 15 yards up the field, dude. Why are you jamming me 15 yards up the field?
Right. I think this probably just show just a little.
This is horrible. This is horrible. Okay, no. I thought that was the PAT miss. I'm sorry.
I'm glad they didn't show that.
Okay.
We were so heated when it happened.
He did that in the preseason like 2 times.
Yeah, a couple times he did it in preseason.
A couple times he did.
But I was glad. Now, one thing I was happy about this drive, we definitely ran a ton of clock on this drive. By the way, I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I thought that could have been a penalty right there. I thought that should have been a penalty. I watched it live. When you come in, they tell you to come in with control. I felt like he had no control. I thought that should have been a penalty.
I think that might be the last play. I'm gonna come back with us.
It is because that's the
that's an incomplete pass.
I appreciate that rule that they inserted when he dropped the ball. In my mind, I said, "Wait a minute, you shouldn't force us the penalty. We should be able to decide or it should be a runoff. It shouldn't just be get up and do it again. It should be some type of runoff." But I'm glad the ref cleared it up and said, no, the fans are right. That's an incomplete pass. That's ball game. Let's get this show going, man.
I think the stadium would have lost it if we would have got robbed of another call in this ball game.
The ref would have had to leave right then and there.
Right. All right, y'all. But the Falcons won 25-24. Myself and Drew was talking about this before the show, and I want to hit some comments real quick before we get into what we think about it. Let's check in with my boy Finn. What's going on, bro? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's see. Another comment from YouTube. Hey, Byron, y'all 0-2, man. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all, New England. I don't want to hear nothing from you. You hear me? Y'all coach is like the water boy coach after he lost his superstar. Anyways, moving along, I got to do this against on the road. That'll be a test. I guess he been a test. Yeah, we're going to definitely get into that. And, this is a great question we can get into. Do you want to get into this one now? Or you want to go into what we think about the game first?
Let's just roll it out because that is a good question. I have an answer for it already because I've already pre-talked about this with other Falcon fans. So I have an answer for that question already. But let's go ahead and dive in. Let's start with the good. Let's celebrate being 2-0 before we just tear our team apart because it's coming.
Right. Because if y'all know us, we are not the nicest fans. We're not the nicest fans, guys. I promise you. If you see both of our posts on social media, we let them have it in game, pre-game, and post-game. So you know what we're gonna do. But I'm gonna let you go on it first, and you say how do you feel about the victory?
First off, 2-0, baby. 2-0, baby. Let me get an applause for that. 2-0. 2-0. First time since 2017. Let's get straight into it. I thought Desmond Ridder played an okay game. He has a pattern. We just talked about this pre-show. He has a habit of starting slow. And when I mean slow, I mean processing. His processor seems to go really slow in the beginning of the game. I didn't necessarily feel that this week because I thought the play calling was different. Like I said, I love the screen to the right, the first play of the game. Get the ball out of his hand, get it in Drake's hand, get it to his star weapons. I appreciated to see that more. What I don't like is, and I wish I could find the article. Arthur Smith said in the offseason that one of Desmond Ritter's biggest issue was he would see it but hesitate on it. Dog, if you see it, disperse. What like or a better term is what they say in football is grip it, rip it, grip it, rip it. Grip the ball, rip it out of there. Grip the ball, rip it out of there. He needs to do that more. I wasn't a fan, and this is go back to Art. I don't think this is on Des. I wasn't necessarily a fan of how we just go from one thing and then we immediately go to something else. You know, I'm not a fan of that. I did like Desmond Ritter's moxie. I thought he played with an attitude. I thought the crowd brought this. So anybody who was at the game other than Nate, y'all did a fantastic job in that Benz, man. Oh yeah, hats off to y'all. If you went, you did a fantastic job at that Benz, man. When I tell you, it was the loudest I've heard the Benz on TV ever. That thing, y'all had that thing rocking, and you could tell Desmond, like, he was absorbing it. Like, you could, by that fourth quarter, that wasn't Desmond Ridder, dog. That was like baby Tom Brady or something. Obviously, I'm super stretching it, but dog, I think he went 7 for 8, 181 in the fourth quarter. That's phenomenal numbers, dog. What did you think?
We kind of on the same page. I felt like at first going to the game. Now, all you Falcon fans, let's go ahead and be real about this thing. Most of you thought this was going to be the typical Falcon loss. I thought it. I think most of the people thought it, but I was proud to see. I've heard people say this is a cliche statement, but we're going to keep it a buck. Good football teams win those type of ball games.
Right on.
To be down 12 in the fourth quarter, and this is, first of all, let's be honest. This is Desmond Ritter's 6th start, I believe, as a Falcon quarterback. So to pull it together against a pretty good defensive line and defense in general from Green Bay showed me that this team had the potential to do something special down the stretch. So for me, as Julian hit on as well, I did not like the inconsistent play calling. I think we need to really look into that going forward because, yes, the Falcons have been able to get out of trouble from starting slow, but you cannot keep starting slow. The next 2 weeks, we're going to go up against a Detroit team who's one of the top teams in the league last year offensively, and a Jacksonville roster that's pretty good as well. That's going to show us a lot about us. We cannot go out here and keep starting slow, keep being stagnant. Like, prime example for most of you that's watched the game, the first drive should have been a touchdown.
Easy.
Came out the one. We threw 2 of the 3 times, which was unacceptable. But not to forget. Let's take it a step back. Kyle Pitts got the DPI on the left side of the end zone. So we had a new set of downs. So in my mind, logically, I'm thinking, okay, we're on the 1 yard line. I have a reset of downs. I'm running this ball 4 times, right? If you're an O-lineman, if you're a fullback, you need to button up both chin straps. You might come out with a bloody nose or a twisted jaw, but I want this touchdown. So logically, I thought, and I'm pretty sure everybody else thought, we would run the ball 4 times. I just want to put that out there. I agree, because at the 1, you're thinking this team immediately is going to go out here. It's either going to be Algier or Bijan with a walk-in. We came out with a play action rollout. We were playing Madden.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand. And just to piggyback off what you said, it makes you look like a jackass for drafting Bijan 8th overall and you don't use him on the goal line. We're not talking about in the red zone. We're talking about the goal line, people. It makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. I even made a joke yesterday on Facebook. I said Arthur Smith hates Bijan Robinson. Like he had to hate him because even when Bijan started wiggling and started looking like Bijan Robinson, what did he do? and we need to talk about this, and we'll talk about it later. And I'll just end it on this one and let you continue. I have no problem with Tyler Algier whatsoever. Tyler Algier is not Bijan Robinson.
No.
And I think that's perfectly fine. I don't want everybody going, oh my God. Let's take a breather. Tyler Algier is just simply not Bijan Robinson. And that's okay. And that fans should be okay with accepting that. I'm tired of fans accepting good players and then they fall in love with them, and their love for them tricks them into thinking they're great players. Tyler Algier isn't a great player. He's a good player who benefits from having one of the best run systems in the entire football league. But it's not even close between Bijan and Tyler. It's not even close at all.
You're right. I agree 100%. But it's going back to what Julian said as well. For me, I thought, and I seen the person in the comments say the same thing. I thought the Falcons, when they went down 12, because let's all remember, and Julian explained it to me because I was at the game. They did not give us an explanation for anyone that went to the Falcon game of the quote-unquote incomplete pass, the Mac Hollins touchdown. Mac Hollins got both feet down in the end zone. He toe tapped. I sit in section 303. It was dead in my end zone. I watched him tap his toes. They all celebrate, hey, this is a touchdown. They took the longest review. I said, watch they reverse this. And then they come out and reverse it. Mind you, by the way, all of you that was watching on TV, that the referee's mic did not pick up in the bins. So we didn't really get a clear explanation. So yeah, we didn't really, we saw them say it was not a touchdown, but it was like, let's say you say it's not a touchdown and you don't hear nothing else. So I don't know what was going on with the mic in the bins yesterday, but a lot of the calls that were either reversed or taken back, if you don't know the signals, you don't really know what was going on. But I felt like that was one of the worst calls of the season so far in any game I've seen. But even with that, and then a bad pass interference, they went down 12. I thought, okay, this might take the life out.
Typical Falcons.
Yeah, this might take the life out of the team. This turns into a 17-point Falcon loss in the end, but they showed me some resilience that you don't see often with these Falcon teams, especially in the Arthur Smith era, where you're having to throw the ball a little bit more than you want to. So that was a big statement win for this regime. It's bigger. Green Bay has injuries. We know this. But if you are a Falcons fan that's been watching this regime for the last 3 seasons, this was a big win. This was a test right here to show, okay, the games that you getting a gut punch, you can find a way to win this game. Right. Now it's going to be tested on the road the next 2 weeks, but at the same time, again, we are happy at the fact that they found a way to win when it was all said and done. Because again, I walked out the game like, how do we win this game? I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Before we even, because I'm reading the comments. I just want, all right. Let's just go and get it out the way. Let's explain the rule, how it was explained to us on TV, why the Matt Hollins touchdown wasn't a touchdown, because Nate had no idea, and I just explained it to him pre-show. So this is the rule when it comes to toe touching, and I guess if you agree or don't agree, it's nor here nor there. I guess the rule is a rule, right? And we're still going to show up on Sunday. So the rule is, if your back is turned towards the field, then the toes is all you need. If your back is facing the stands, the heel automatically comes down with the toe. That's the way it was explained to us on TV. Now, I don't know if you guys, obviously you guys were at the game and you just said there were microphone issues with the ref, so y'all didn't know. But that was the way the rule was explained to us, that it wasn't toe tap. Toe tap is when you're running towards, out of bounds or the back of the end zone, and it's like an over the shoulder or, something like that. So that was the rule explained to us on TV. And then they tried to say, well, he came down, the heel came down out of bounds regardless. That was a little questionable to me, and I'm not a fan of that rule. I think that might be one of the rules that they look at this upcoming offseason, the 24 offseason, because I just wasn't in agreement to that. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how long the rule has been implemented, but I'm pretty sure if we can go back and watch tape, we won't even have to go back that far. I'll say 3 years. I guarantee you we can go back 3 years and find plenty of film, plenty of games, plenty of catches, plenty of touchdowns, plenty of first downs, plenty of amazing catches that did exactly that, and the ref said it was a catch.
I'm glad he explained it, because as I told him, that might be one of the worst explanations they could have given. And at this point, what is a catch? It's now at that point of what's really a catch in the NFL now, because 3-4 years ago, that's not reviewed. But now that's a review. So
yeah,
it's tricky. It's tricky now. But no, I do agree with that. That I thought it was gonna kill our momentum. But,
almost did, bro.
And I appreciate you giving that shout out to the fans, because I have to say this, and I gotta give it to the Falcon fans. There was a lot of Green Bay fans that turned out.
Lord, yes, it was.
And I wanted, and I'm glad I just threw that out there, because let me put this on record. I seen, and I know you're in the Atlanta Bird game. Shout out to Atlanta Bird game in that group. There was a fan that complained about Packers fans coming out. Why are we selling tickets? Let me just be brutally honest. There are 3 fan bases that you can guarantee is going to pack 20 to 30% of the stadium.
I guarantee I know what you're going to say.
These 3 are Green Bay, Pittsburgh, and
the Cowboys. I swear to God, I knew you were going to say that.
Those are the 3.
Those are the 3 matter. They travel heavy. I don't give a damn if Pittsburgh is going to the West Coast to play the Los Angeles Chargers. They're rolling 10,000 strong. Exactly. They roll deep like that.
Do you remember last year, Marcus Mariota's last start? We were 4-8 going into that game. They were 4-8 going into that game. They packed it out until they were 10-0, 10-2, or something like that. But their fans travel regardless. So
they travel regardless.
You can't really, it doesn't matter how you can't get around that. To be honest, you cannot get around those fans traveling. Let's see, a comment said, and Philadelphia fans do travel well.
And Philadelphia, right. I think Philadelphia might be the more diehard fans as of right now, because obviously they're on top of the world. But when you think of historical, Dallas, Green Bay, Pittsburgh, historical fan bases, definitely I'm in California right now. I'm in SoCal. There's literally Steeler bars, Dallas bars, like in SoCal. You get what I'm saying? So they travel really good.
That is true. And see, that's the thing that I don't think a lot of folks want to recognize, is that we have that problem of these fans aren't showing up. They want to say that Falcon fans don't want to come. No. Green Bay fans were guaranteed gonna pack that building out regardless. Knowing
Green Bay fans, they already bought their tickets. It was nothing you could have did to stop it. It was nothing you could have did to stop it. It was out of here. Not true indeed. Some Falcon fans don't show up. A lot of Falcon fans would rather sit at home and watch the game and not be heartbroken in the live flesh. So you can't really be upset with Falcon fans for hearing the same old bullshit every year. After a while, it's like, I'll watch you on Fox, and whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? We win, we win. We don't.
That's true. That is so true. And that's the thing that baffles me with some of the fans. I know they were complaining about it yesterday, but again, you can't really fault the team. You can't fault the team. Can't fault the team. Can't fault the fans. Mm-hmm. But for the Falcon fans that showed up, I was very, very impressed with how loud it got, especially when the game got close. They started bringing they forced 3 delay a game / false start penalties yesterday. So shout out to the Mercedes-Benz crowd. They've been coming out. And once again, if you've been watching my page or watching Julian's page, you know firsthand, we will tell you this once again. If you win, they will come. It has nothing to do with bad Falcon fans. It has everything to do with a football team. Now, I promise you, the Houston game may be dang near capacity because depending on what we come back like, if the Falcons split this road trip or at best come back 4-0, you better believe that building's going to be sold out October 8th.
Oh, my Lord. 4-0 sounds like... I know Calvin really, I don't know if it's bad blood between us and Calvin really. I don't know, but you best believe when we go to London, that boy going to have his cleats tied to the max. You best. So I made a post earlier. I know some of y'all, we're not following each other on Facebook, but for the ones who are, I made a post earlier talking about Sauce Gardner, how he doesn't travel. You bet your ass AJ Terrell is going to want all pieces of Calvin Ridley in 2 weeks. You could just believe it. That's going to happen.
That's true. And he brought up a great point. Shout out to my boy from Speaky P Sports Talk Show. He said a lot of our fans, unfortunately, be walking around the stadium instead of sitting. That is true too. You have
that's a problem with Arthur. I think I've been in there before. I've been in their SEC championship, Georgia versus Alabama. Shout out to the Bulldogs. 3-peat on the way. I was in that stadium. I swear to God, dog. I went up and got a pretzel and I think a hot dog. On God in heaven, I might have watched the game for 30 minutes in the hallway and then go to my seat. Because it's a freaking museum.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Arthur and the developers, you guys got way beside yourself. Way beside yourself. It's a TV literally on every corner in the Mercedes-Benz. You will literally forget to go back to your seat. Don't let you get a drink and then you talking to somebody next to you. You will never go back to your seat. You will never go back to your seat. So it's a fun building. It is. It's state of the art. It's fabulous. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful building. High tech, very designed, but it's taken away from the game and it's pulling the fans away from their seats. So I just want to look at that Roll Tide. Boo! I just want to throw that out there. But you know, Alabama. Before we get started, let's address the elephant in the room. That shit is over. That shit is over. Don't get me wrong. It's been a long ride, Roll Tide. It's been a long ride. And we UGA boys right here, we respect it. Trust me, we understand. I'm not talking shit. All my Alabama fans, they know. My real ones, they know. It's over, dog. It's over, dog.
You seen the cracks in the foundation 2 years ago during our national championship run.
You did. Brother, I just want Alabama, before we get carried away, I'm going to just say this last bit, then I'm going to let you say your last bit. Alabama fans, you don't wake up and replace Bryce. You can't wake up and replace that. You can't wake up and replace Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. You can't replace that in 1 year. You just don't. You think the Bulldogs are going to replace Brock Bowers next year? How? With who? You just don't. You think the Bulldogs are going to replace Jalen Carter by next year? How? With whom? Tell me. Maybe Bear Alexander, but he's out here in the sunshine. He's out here in California. Right. With whom? Who are you going to replace that type of production with? It just doesn't have. Thank you, Tua, Hurts, the O-line, the D-line. You don't replace that. It's hard. Not only that, but NIL, it has taken over football. Everybody got a Hellcat now. Everybody. Nick Saban ain't the only coach passing out Hellcats. Everybody got a Hellcat now. That's just how it's going. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
But you're right, though. It's the Alabama. Well, he's got to go. He said what I started to say. Yes, this is true. The NIL definitely ruined Nick Saban. But the one thing that the reason I say that the cracks in the foundation started with that group 2 years ago was because you knew Bama always had that next guy coming up. That next, you knew this guy go pro, you got Will Anderson. This guy go pro, you got Devontae Smith. This guy go pro, you got Bryce Young. You get what I'm saying? You don't have when I came into the season, I said, who is their roster? One of your reliable receivers was a 5th option on the 21 UGA National Championship team.
Hello.
That's the problem.
Hello. Somebody talk to him. Hello.
But yeah, that's truly where we are with them. But back on topic for us.
Let's go, Birds.
Y'all know what time it is. We got to dive into what we were frustrated about. Where do I start? Number one, you heard us talk about it earlier. Arthur Smith with this inconsistent play calling. It irritates me to see Arthur Smith consistently be inconsistent. He will start off with several runs. You're moving the ball inside the 20, and then it stalls because you want to throw the ball here. You want to come out and play action at the most inconvenient time. We talked about the drive, the drive where we should have had a touchdown and kicked the field goal and went 7-3. That's where a big problem comes into play for me. Mm-hmm. You have to be consistent. To me, I felt like Arthur Smith was trying to show us, hey, you guys said last week I couldn't throw the ball with Desmond Ridder. Now look, he's gonna throw the ball. This is not the time to do that.
Ego.
You're trying exactly. He does have an ego, and I don't care. And yes, Arlo, he is 2-0. I get that. However, we're gonna keep it a buck here. I don't care if we were 15-0. I'm gonna be honest about if something is a flaw. True. But the problem is this: he does stuff, and then when you question him in press conferences, he gets an attitude or he gets defensive.
Very snarky, very snarky. I already see where you're going with this. I don't like the childish responses he gives the media. Oh, this isn't fantasy, dog. You can't keep saying that. You can't keep saying this isn't fantasy. We're only focused about winning. Hello, since the beginning of football, you know how you win football games? You give it to your best players on the field. So I don't want to keep hearing how this isn't fantasy. I don't want to hear that. You drafted Kyle Pitts 4th overall. You skipped Jamar Chase. You skipped Michael Parsons. No, we want answers. We want responses. Michael Parsons is already one of the best defensive players, regardless of position. No, one of the best players in all of football, regardless of position. I need answers to why Kyle Pitts isn't one of the best weapons in all of football. We need answers because that Kyle Pitts draft class, we're going to look at it in 2 or 3 more years when it's time for everybody to get paid. And we're going to look at it and say, hey, that draft class shaped the future of the league today. The same thing we did with the 2011 Julio Jones draft class. That draft class shaped the future of the league. So, yes, we want answers. I don't want to hear a childish response every time. Look somebody in the eyes and say, you know what? I'm effing up. This is my boy. I'm a tight ends coach. I was a tight ends coach before I ever became an OC in Tennessee. I love my tight ends. I got to get my boy involved way more.
I agree with everything that you stated. And Speak Your Piece has dropped an interesting question. Is it time to trade Kyle Pitts?
No.
I'm not going to go that far now. However, if this season don't go the way we want it to go, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's the issue here. I think it's more so back to Arthur Smith, which it goes back to my issue of like you just said, you got these key stars in key positions that's supposed to benefit your group. Mm-hmm. You're not using them to their benefit, and that's where the problem comes into play. He now, and I like what Darrell Mason just said, that he can see him requesting one. This is what we're trying to hope that we don't run into, because that could be a case if he doesn't find a way to get Kyle Pitts involved. He got Drake London involved this week. Now it's time to work your way into getting everybody involved, because to be honest, you should be we put up 400 yards of offense yesterday. That should be the standard at this point with the talent that we have on this team.
Definitely how balanced we want to be. We're not discrediting Arthur Smith for trying to be balanced. We want to be balanced. We want to be able to bootleg, play action, run, bootleg, play action, crosser. We want to be able to do that. But what we're saying is if we're producing 450 yards of total offense out of that 450, I think Kyle Pitts had, and I had to tell somebody, I had to really check him on his football because he was a casual. He said, "Oh man, Kyle Pitts had 5 targets yesterday." I said, "Dude, that's like baby rookie numbers. 5 targets? What is that? What is 5 targets? Dude, that's a target a quarter. What is that? You know what I'm saying? That's not nothing special. Hell yeah, Kyle Pitts would want to get out of here. Of course he would. Of course he would. That didn't make sense to me when they said it. Kyle Pitts needs 10 to 12 targets a game. I'm tired of seeing Kyle Pitts running these shallow mesh, these mesh routes. Dog, why aren't we running more seam routes up the field, making safeties pick and choose? What do you want to do, high safety? You want to go to the boundary and you want to guard Drake, or do you want to play robber and come down and help the linebacker cover Kyle Pitts? Which we don't even make safeties pick and choose. Kyle Pitts. I'm gonna tell you what I would like to see Kyle Pitts do: more corner post, more post routes, more crossers, more wheel routes. By fucking God, run a wheel route, an inline tight end wheel route with Kyle Pitts. Make him one-on-one with a linebacker in the back corner post. He's coming down with that ball. He's coming down with that ball. How many linebackers can cover Kyle Pitts all game? How many linebackers? Kyle Pitts, every time I see Kyle Pitts attempt to get the ball, he's wide open. Granted or not, Desmond gets him the ball accurately with great ball location. Kyle Pitts is wide open. So
most times.
And I don't like that we're not using Kyle Pitts as the main option. I like Drake. I love Drake. Drake is a dog. I would get into a bar fight with Drake. He gives me that. No, for real. Drake give me that energy. I would go into a bar with Drake and we can start a bar fight. Dog, Kyle Pitts is special, man. Like, that's a special athlete. That's a special talent. I would love to see what Kyle Shanahan would have did with a person like Kyle Pitts. Come on now. I would love, look how nobody's confusing George Kittle for being Travis Kelce, the best route runner. He has every route tree in every route in the route tree. No, he's a fucking specimen. Allow Kyle Pitts to be a specimen. Allow him to, people keep saying, oh, well, Kyle Pitts needs to play on the boundary. My disagreement on Kyle Pitts playing on the boundary is he doesn't have Calvin Ridley acceleration. He doesn't have that. Not yet. He doesn't have Travis Kelce's route running. He doesn't have that yet. What he does have is he's big, he's physical, he's strong. He has straight line speed. Let's start using that more. Let's use that more with Kyle Pitts. Straight line speed, seams, posts, corners. I don't want to see him running more banana routes, more C routes. Like they ran a route for Kyle Pitts in the end zone. I wasn't a fan of it. They was a C route. It started, and then, they come back and they go back toward, like they come in and they go back towards the post. Kyle Pitts doesn't. That's a Calvin Ridley route. Kyle Pitts doesn't have the agility to run that route. He doesn't have the body frame to run that route. I want to see more post corners. Up, hit the post. Up, hit the post. Up, hit the post. That's what I want to see. I can't speak for everybody else, but I would love to see more of that with Kyle Pitts instead of these ridiculous routes that Kyle Pitts are running. I'm just not a fan with certain routes.
Let's see. I'm got 2 things I want to throw out there. Maybe we need a true offensive coordinator. I can't let y'all put. I'm sorry. When you are an offensive-minded coach, you will catch blame. That is not gonna be ignored. Kyle Shanahan caught blame for blowing the Super Bowl 3 years ago in the NFC Championship game against the Rams 2 years ago. You will never be dismissive of blame when you are an offensive-minded coach. I don't care how you put it. You cannot always put it on the offensive coordinator. You are a head coach that came from an offensive side of the ball. That is not, I do not agree with that. Whoa.
You are a tight end coach, my boy. You are a tight end coach. This is how you made your bread and butter before you start calling plays in Tennessee. You are a tight and look how he did Jonnu, a very good tight end coach. We're not knocking you for being a good tight end coach. We're saying, when are you going to start being tight end coach to one of the best football specimens in the entire NFL?
That is true. Let me hit this. I'm going back up to some of the questions. At what point does Arthur Smith open up the offense a little bit more, but still keeping Bijan the focal point? Do you think it hinders us or it helps? I'm gonna let you hit that question first.
I'm gonna say, and this is my opinion. So I'm gonna answer two questions at one time. The original question that we got away from was, what happens when CP come back? I think the way we use Bijan now is really going to be CP's role. In that slot, we motion Bijan a lot for an identifier to see what the defense is doing, man, zone, press, whatever. I think that's really CP's role, and I think Bijan will probably go back more into the backfield. I think so. CP can do a lot of things, and I think we're just using Bijan right now just to negate and just to see, swing him here, swing him there. Yes, we definitely need to open up the offense more, but what definition are we saying is opening the offense? Are we asking for more deep passes? Are we asking for more dropbacks? Like, I need them to tell me what is their definition of opening up the offense, because I want to answer them correctly. And my definition of opening up the offense is getting the ball out to the playmakers. Give Desmond Ridder more routes where it's yards after catch. I want to see more of that. Like with the Drake screen, bubble screen on the first play, I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was amazing. Get the ball out of Desmond's hand. Boom, grip it. Remember this, y'all. Grip it, rip it. Grip the ball, rip it out of there real fast. To me, that's opening up the offense. I don't want to see any more seven-step, five-step dropbacks with Desmond Ridder, where he has to scan 1, 2, 3, 4 reads. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see more 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that rhythm. I don't want to see Matt Ryan 1, 2, 3, 1 option, 2 option, 3 option. I don't want to, because in my opinion, his processor doesn't think fast enough yet, and it shouldn't. He started 4 games last year, started 2 this year. Goddamn, people that work at McDonald's for their 6-day get more. Don't worry about it than Desmond. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. To me, that's opening up the offense. No, I don't think it'll hurt Bijan. I don't think it'll hurt Bijan at all. Because as we already see, Bijan is the star. He is the star. Nobody on this entire team is better than Bijan. Not Grady, not AJ, not Jesse, not Desmond, not Kyle, not Drake, not Matt Bergeron, not Chris Lindstrom. Nobody on this team is better than Bijan. It is what it is. No, I don't want to see Bijan ran 35 times in the ground. I would like to see Bijan with 20. I want to see Bijan with 25 to 27 touches. I'm being careful with my words. Touches, 20 handoffs, 7 catches. You know what I'm saying? 15 touches. Nah, 15 is too low for Bijan. Or let's max him out if you want to, because it's going to be a game. I want everybody to get prepared for this. I know we're all in agreement that we don't want to run Bijan into the dirt. That man, that's a young man. He's strong. Them bones, them muscles, they ready, they big. He's going to have a game where he touched the ball 30 times, 35 times. It's just coming. I think that's also a part of opening up the offense, because here's what's going to happen. You keep doing them swing passes to Bijan, now guess what safety's got to do? Now I got to come up more. I can't cheat no more. And what I just said, I want to see Kyle Pitts on seam routes. Those safeties come up into them box, play action. Kyle Pitts, seam route. To me, that's opening up the offense. The way we call the plays is opening up the offense. I don't want to see us do counter out of nowhere. We do a 5-step drop. Now Desmond Ridder's on his ass. I don't want to see that no more. Go ahead.
You know something, and I'm gonna tell you something that I kind of noticed as yesterday happened, one thing that I love and hate about Arthur Smith at the same time. Yesterday, you started seeing Matt Holland get the ball more. Do not be surprised if Scotty Miller start getting involved in game 3. It's like he is game by game by game starting to ease another playmaker into the mix. But I do feel that, to me, I think keeping Bijan the focal point and opening up the offense will benefit him as well. I feel like, as Julian just said, 25 to 27 is good enough for him. You have enough playmakers to where Algier can get 10 carries himself.
Facts.
You can still throw that ball to Drake and Pitts. You aren't getting Matt Collins involved. The one thing that I had an issue with Arthur Smith, and this goes back to last year with Demir Bird. If you're gonna go pick up a Scotty Miller, I need to see some home run attempts here and there. I'm not asking you to do it 50 times a game. I'm asking you, okay, like now I will say this. There was an illegal contact on the drive that we kicked the field goal on to cut it to 2, where Scotty Miller absolutely smoked Rasul Douglas on the play, and he grabbed him.
On the right side.
That was that play. He got in the game at that point. You got to start incorporating your home run threats here and there. So I think we both kind of on the same page as far as what you just said. But I think it's like he's trying to gradually open it up, but he can't do not keep the training wheels on too long.
That's right.
Came in with Marcus Mariota throwing it to Cordero Hodge, Zacchaeus, and all these guys last year. So you got to start easing them into the offense a little bit more here and there, because again, you don't want to find yourself by the time we play the Commanders in week 6 still trying to work him into the offense. And that's going to be a problem there, because your schedule is going to get a little bit tougher down the stretch at that point.
Yes, it will.
To answer the question that KD had earlier, I love what you said about Cordero Patterson, because it seems as if from what you think, and I can see that now, because that reminds me of him, Tyler, and what's my name from last year? Caleb Huntley. That it could be a running back by committee once he comes back into the mix. But I will say this: Cordero Patterson got to get healthy, or you're going to be faded out.
Oh man, yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's been, man, we've been burning them. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest and say that we have been pre-Tyler. We that 1 year pre-Tyler, and we were cheering for him, and he was balling out of control, but we burnt him. We did. We burnt him. And then he got hurt. Remember, y'all, he had the end season. I knew it was going to be a downhill once he had the end season surgery. I knew then. I said, yeah, he's not going to come back from this. He's not. Because I knew Tyler wasn't ready yet. I knew, even though Tyler had a good year, I knew Tyler wasn't ready yet to just take over everything. Even and people forget this. As good as Tyler was last year as his rookie year, it still was running back by committee. It still was,
which is scary.
And I'm trying to be honest with people now. I don't dislike Tyler, but I don't think we keep it real about Tyler. Tyler still was running back by committee. Even Bijan to be running back by committee, but we all know Bijan getting ready to load up. I can see Bijan loading up for the rest of the year. He's if Arthur Smith continues to make Bijan the feature back and Tyler the star back, I'm putting it out there right now on live record. I'm going to ride with Nate. It's time to get him up out of there. It's time to get him up out of there. Because now you're going against the grain. Now, do you really think we're going to put Tyler Algier at the Z on the boundary to play wide receiver? No. You think we're going to line Tyler Algier up in the slot to play slot? No. That's not happening. You think we're going to do a lot of screen? Bro, I seen us keep trying to do this off tackle with Tyler Algier, and my guy doesn't even have enough speed to get to the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's not a knock.
Yesterday too.
It's not a knock on Tyler Algier. I'm a Falcon fan, damn it, and I want to win. You know what I'm saying? I was wanting Nate to tell y'all, because some of y'all, we're still not following each other. months before the draft happened, Nate asked me who I wanted. What did I say, Nate?
Bijan Robinson.
I said I wanted Bijan Robinson the whole way. I said he was the best player in the entire draft. Yes, I'm a UGA boy. Obviously, I wanted Jalen Carter. I have my own reasons for why Jalen Carter didn't come to Atlanta. And they're vital reasons. They're good reasons. But I knew Bijan Robinson was going to be the best weapon since Saquon Barkley. Some people in the NFL are even going as far back as saying the best weapon since Adrian Peterson. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I watched that boy at Texas sophomore year and junior year. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. And as a weapon, and guess what? This goes back to give Arthur Smith some credit. The NFL is going more towards positionless football. It just is. It just is. We already start seeing it with Le'Veon Bell. We had started seeing it with Jimmy Graham. We had started seeing it with Deebo Samuel. We seen it with CP when CP was in New England. There are traces of it going on. We seen it with the Wildcat in Miami 15 years ago. There have been traces of positionless football going on for many years now. I'm grasping the concept of positionless football. You damn right Bijan Robinson is already the best slot receiver on the team. Why? Because he can do it all. Tyler can't do that. So I'm with you, Nate, on that one. We talked about that off air. I'm with you on that one.
Let me hit this comment real quick because Byron on the troll. If Michigan don't win a playoff game this year, fire Jim Harbaugh. That's all I'm going to say. By the way, we'll beat y'all 34-11, the first championship game. But back on topic.
He threw the score out there.
Had to, because I didn't. That comment just didn't sit well with me. But no, I do agree with everything you're saying in regards to that, because it's getting to a point now where the Falcons are going to this youth movement, and it's gonna get to a point where, as much as we love Cordero Patterson, you don't have a role on this team.
Oh,
and that's a bad thing to say. But when we drafted Bijan, I said to Nate, I'm like, where does he fit in here now? Because now you're starting to transition to, you got your dual threats at running back. Tyler Algier is your Dollar Tree. Let me go ahead and shout out Dollar Tree. Is your Dollar Tree Michael Turner. He gonna
facts.
Do what you got to do. But Bijan is your guy that I could put you on a. Oh, by the way, I love the wheel route. I love the wheel routes they ran with him. I like the slant that they put first. Hello. Why was former Falcon Devondre Campbell on a route in a shotgun formation against Bijan Robinson?
And Bijan was lined up at the Z. Bijan was lined up at the Z on the outside, on the right side. I said, I know that's not who I think it is covering Bijan on the right side. I said, I know damn well if that's what they're going to give us, you're going to line a linebacker up with Bijan Robinson when he's playing boundary wide receiver. Oh, boy. This is going to be a fun offense if that's what you're lining up with Bijan when he's at the X or the Z. Oh, boy, we finna have fun.
The funny part about that is when I saw the first thing first, when I saw that third down, and I'm like, is that who I think it is? First down. And see, the folks in my section look at me like, oh man, they were looking at me crazy at first. And then when it happened, they were like, oh wow, he was correct. I'm trying that matchup every single time. Side note, shout out to my boy Key. Y'all having a first round. Listen, let me tell you this.
Tell him.
If we go home in the first round, we don't care. This team has had a losing season since 2017.
Hello.
When Julio dropped that pass in Philadelphia.
Hello.
Getting to the postseason is a dream for this team that has lost for 6 consecutive seasons.
In other words, Quentin, this is what we're saying. Did you just say the Atlanta Falcons would make the playoffs? Oh my God. Did you just tell us that? I'll take that.
If that's the case, I would gladly put my money to the side to have a whole playoff game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What? I'll take that. Did you? Because there's no way I think the Saints or the Bucks was winning the division. So are you saying we NFC crown and we're gonna have a home game? Oh yeah, I need to start saving up my pennies right now. I need to start saving my pennies right now. He said Ritter should play in the CFL.
He's
You mean
trolling.
like you mean?
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute. I'm gonna kill that. You mean like Kurt Warner? You mean like Kurt Warner, right? You mean like Dante Hall? You mean like Dante Hall and Kurt Warner, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
But all right. Another thing that we've been talking about the players. Me and Julian talked about this off air. We got to address it on here. There's a couple of guys who is on my hot seat this season. Jake Matthews is number one. I get it, you guys. Jake Matthews been playing since 2014. He hasn't missed starts. He went to a Pro Bowl at one point about 50 years ago. The man gets whooped every single week.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting to the point where, first of all, Caleb McGarry should not have been re-signed. If you remember, we were talking about this last season. The players, I hate contract year ballers. And what I mean by that is this. If you see a guy who was average year 1, year 2, year 3, and then first of all, if y'all remember, the Falcons declined his 5th-year option. He had a solid campaign last year.
Money grab.
Yeah, and the Falcons went and said $11 million a year. And he reverted right back to his regular self this year. With Jake Matthews, at the time, him getting paid made sense. But at this rate, the Falcons he doesn't translate into this team now. To me, I feel like, and this goes to the question that my boy Tevin just brought up, I feel like that plays a factor in the Desmond.
The O-line does. It does. It goes hand in hand. The O-line and quarterback goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. We've seen that for a decade with Matt Ryan playing behind some of the most shittiest offensive lines of all time. And at least Desmond Ritter can at least run. We're not saying he's a runner. We're saying he can run. Matt Ryan wasn't running you nowhere. So imagine Matt Ryan behind this right side and pass pro right now. It would be a lot more sacks. It just would. As far as Caleb was signed to a team-friendly deal. Let me just put it in comparison. Jawan Taylor just made damn near $100 million in Kansas City, and he is awful. He is. So when you compare it to what the other right tackles made last year, hell yeah, we got him on a discount, bargain, basement, yard sale. We did. And I'm pretty sure all that money is not guaranteed. I'm going to have to look at the numbers, and I'll post it later. But I think Caleb McGarry's contract is like Play-Doh, toy bullshit. It's not nothing. However, first off, before I say that, I'm going to go back and look at the market because I want to see what the market level was. Yes, indeed, Caleb McGarry is still to this day one of the best blocking tackles in the entire football league. But however, he has to be the worst pass pro right tackle. So I don't know where we grade him at. This would be my thing with Caleb McGarry. If we accepted the fact that we were a run-first team, like the fans keep saying we're a run-first team, Caleb McGarry would be an all-pro every year. He would be an all-pro every year. If all we did was use Caleb McGarry to run block, he would be an all-pro every year. But that's just not realistic. Dog, you're going to have to get in your pass pro. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's back to what you said pre-show. He's playing so bad that even when I see him and Chris Lindstrom do like a double team or somebody's supposed to reach to the next level, to the linebackers or to the safeties, dog, he makes Chris Lindstrom look like a baby out there because he's overcompensating for how sorry Caleb is.
Quentin, I do and I don't disagree with this question at this comment at the same time because a couple of plays was all Bijan yesterday. That is the God's truth. That fourth down, if that's Tyler Algier with stuff on that fourth down.
It is.
That's the
no, it is. It is
having a the one on the drive that we end up kicking the game when the field goal. If you look at that 4th and 1, they destroyed Caleb McGarry on that play. But
and what did Bijan do? Hello.
Yeah, but Bijan is Bijan. And see, that's the thing that's where we're kind of with this thing on. You have players who are better than what they have that's lacking on this ball club. And that's where it's a tricky situation with this Desmond Ridder question. Because did Desmond play a good game yesterday? Yes and no. The first half was a terrible start to the game.
Terrible, real terrible.
Desmond Ridder. He threw I think he was under pressure, but he was fortunate they didn't throw at least 3 interceptions yesterday.
Very. And you know what? Because I hate to play the shoulda, woulda, coulda, if game, but the interception he threw to Quay Walker, out of all the interceptions he threw, that one to Quay Walker was tailor-made. Now I know everybody's going to say the one to Jerry Alexander was tailor-made, but he threw that ball so goddamn hard at Jari, it literally bounced off of Jari because he like put his life into it. That one to Quay Walker was tailor-made, and he dropped that. That was tailor-made.
Listen, as a Dogs fan, I was shocked he dropped that pick.
Oh, Kirby would have made that boy run hills to next Saturday.
Because I'm looking dead. By the way, side note, shout out to Quay Walker. He had 17 tackles yesterday.
No shit.
Yes,
go Dogs.
17 tackles for Green Bay yesterday. So that was incredible of him. But no, I do feel that the Ridder thing is still too soon. I feel like he did make a bit of progression yesterday, but I do feel that in the coming weeks on the road, we're going to see a lot more of where we stand with Desmond Ridder when it comes down to him and this team, because Detroit's going to be first of all, that Detroit squad lost in overtime to Seattle. They are
to a tough Seattle teams, and
right
to a really mentally tough. Like, we know how Pete Carroll teams are. They're mentally tough. They're going to battle 4 quarters. We found that out last year.
Right.
They're going to battle 4 quarters.
With way less talent last year.
Way less talent
in Seattle. They boys were battling against us week 3 when we barely pulled that game out. But yeah, this is gonna be a lot to see what those guys can do on the road. He's a Seahawks fan, by the way. Yes, sir. We're showing y'all props. I told y'all we were gonna win yesterday too, by the way. But that's gonna show a lot about Desmond Ridder. But I think it's kind of too soon. I see my boy Tevin said that Ridder's on the clock. I think it's too soon to throw him on the clock. But at the same time, he does have to take some sleeps in the next couple of weeks, because to be honest with you guys, if you ask me what is our first round pick in April right now, it's going to be a quarterback. And there's no jab at Desmond Ridder. But at the same time, when you look at the talent on the roster, your disadvantage right now is the uncertainty at quarterback. And again, it's nothing against. This is not bashing Desmond Ridder. We just have to be honest about the situation right now.
And this roster is ready. I think I don't think that's being a Falcon fan or a Falcon homer. I've talked to other people. I've been in NFL chats. This Falcon team is ready offensively. That's what me and Nate mean, y'all. Offensively, you can't name too many better young rosters put together that's ready to rock right now. We get Baby Sanders over here. Matter of fact, I want to say this, and then I want to ask you a question. If we get Baby Sanders in here, man, watch out. Watch out, man. We get him over here coming from Buffalo, man, watch out. Now, since you say we could be looking for a quarterback next year, I know you watch college just as much as I do. Is there a quarterback out there? Just hypotheticals, y'all. This is not written in stone. Hypothetical. Is there a quarterback out there in college right now that you're looking at and you're like, that's my man?
I want to hit this question. Nate Ridder needs to throw the ball. Here's a statement. Nate Ridder needs to throw the ball, and if they can't, they will load the ball. Yes, and that's the reason why we've been on the topic of they need to open up the offense, and we're going to see it over the next couple of weeks as far as them needing to get this offense going.
You 100. Hold on, wait a minute. You 100% cannot name 12 offensive rosters better than the Atlanta Falcons. I didn't say production. I don't care about your fancy stats. I'm talking about mano y mano, man to man, muscle to muscle, and including adding the youth in. The Chiefs don't have better personnel right now. For the first, I can honestly, Travis Kelce is a dog. That is it. The Chiefs don't have a better offensive roster right now. I'm just thinking the Bengals do, but have you seen the Bengals play this year? The Bengals and the Raiders might be two of the sorriest teams right now in all of football. So I want to know these 12. He said, not sure if y'all hit this topic yet, but can we please get Grady? I'm gonna let Nate kill that. Go on, take him out, Nate.
I was gonna finish that. But Quentin said, we are not. I'm gonna be honest with you. If we were a bad team, we still couldn't take Shedeur as bad as his division is.
Right.
But
right.
I wouldn't be against a Shedeur Sanders in Atlanta. I wouldn't be against it if this Desmond Ridder thing doesn't work out.
We're just not sorry enough.
Right.
Even if we don't tank, we're not sorry enough.
I agree. I think it's going to depend on Colorado's season. Shedeur will be a guy I would love to see in a Falcon uniform. A guy you hit on this guy too Saturday. Michael Penix Jr. from Washington is another guy who I would be completely on board with if they're going quarterback this offseason.
Did you see that boy throw that ball? Oh my God.
It's three for me. It's those two, and I give you a sleeper. Quinn Ewers from Texas is another guy who
I like Quinn. I like Quinn.
The Falcons fold. That's another one. But we've been saying we were gonna hit this. Not sure if y'all hit this topic yet, but can we please get Grady? We talked about this off air. Y'all have seen we talked about it since the preseason. Ryan Nielsen. Let me give the Falcons defense these props. They are better than last year. And the group weren't bad last year. They just didn't have the talent.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have to put your team in position to win at all times.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with the Falcons is there's several times, like prime example, early in the game yesterday, Jordan Love had like a 30 to 40 yard run where Calais Campbell and Grady Jarrett are lined up on. Calais is on the outside. Grady's at the other D tackle, and then you're running with maybe a Bud Dupree and a Huggins or an Yamada. You do not need. You have two of the best D tackles around. You have a veteran in Calais Campbell. If he stays on the outside early in the drive, cool. Third down, him and Grady need to be destroying the middle. If you pick the Falcons signed several DN/linebacker/pass rushers in a Bud Dupree. You drafted Arnold Ebiketie last year. You brought back Lorenzo Carter. You brought in Caden Ellis from the New Orleans Saints. You need to be a pass rush by committee because let's be honest, you don't have a legitimate pass rusher
at all.
So in the time being, let those guys see. Let's see who's our better two guys on the outside on third down. Because when you actually put pressure on the quarterback, you're getting there. But when you're putting a Calais and a Grady on one side of the field, if you're going against a mobile quarterback, kind of how Jordan Love was yesterday, all I got to do is Calais is 6'8", but he's 36. He is not Arizona Cardinals Calais. He's not Baltimore Calais. So if I can get past him a little bit, I got a first down. So why not get the pressure up the middle and put speed on that outside to where
at least for containment
in my face.
Right. Even if we're not doing traditional pass rush sets, at least contain. I thought we could have did a better job containing Jordan Love yesterday. Even if we're not getting home, at least make him know we might not get home on the edge, but you're definitely gonna live in this pocket. You're not going nowhere else. I didn't think we did a good enough job for that. But y'all can see me touching my screen. My phone is on 4%. I got about 5 minutes with y'all.
All right. But yeah, but yeah, that was one of the things we said we were going to touch on. The other thing was the situation in the secondary with Calais. Let me see. I like this nickname for him. You almost lost a drunken love. Let me give them props on this. Green Bay, despite the injuries, played a really good ball game.
A really clean game.
They I don't know what happened to them down the stretch. First of all, why did Jordan Love run into his offensive line? Everybody on the quarterback sneak on that 4th and 1, that also turned the ball game. Where they ran for that QB sneak and nobody moved but him. Like they had like.
Wait a minute. What the freak was that?
That was the funniest play yesterday.
I had never seen nothing like that in my life.
Me either. It was as if he was point shaving at that point. but seriously, Green Bay played a good game despite the injuries. I was very, very impressed with those guys. They really played a good game. But the problem is we overcame, but that also attests to how talented that Green Bay roster is post Aaron Rodgers. So another person said the same thing, that Jordan Love is solid, but that QB sneak was funny
as hell.
But yeah, since my boy phone is going out right now, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. But he
Matter of fact, 2 seconds. I just want to say this, and this is just, I don't know, I don't understand how he got this grade, but I just saw it and he did. Caleb McGarry yesterday finished with a 77 grade for PFF. I have no idea how that happened. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know what he did. I don't know. Maybe they know more than me and you. I don't know. Maybe they got 12 set of eyes and me and you just got 2 eyes. I don't know, but I have to start questioning PFF, because yesterday they said Bijan only got like an 88. I said 88 where? That shit should have been 100 points.
Yes.
88 where? Who else got a high? Oh, before I forget. And this is I want to give Scary Terry some credit as being a GM. The highest graded overall player in PFF on the Falcons through 2 weeks is David Onyemata.
That's surprise.
He's finished with a 90 grade 2 weeks in a row.
That is awesome.
2 weeks in a row.
I want to hit this, and if you got time, we'll knock this one out. But his question is, what was our record to finish? I came into the season saying that 10-7 or 9-8 was for me because of the schedule, and I'm not gonna jump the gun right now. I'm gonna stick to what I said in preseason, because that's his boy from Winnipeg, by the way. I want to.
That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah, but I said 9-8 to 10-7. I think this team is good enough to have a winning season. I don't want to put no crazy expectations on, because we still got a lot of things that are,
and we're going to lose, and we're going to lose. I would say, before I get out of here, I would say 10-7, 11-6 is cool. The only reason why I say 11-6 is because I had us losing to Green Bay. You might have had us losing too. I had us losing to Green Bay. The effort and the mental toughness we put on versus Green Bay, I don't know, man. I think Detroit might be in trouble if they come in thinking, "Oh, W." I think they might get in trouble, man. Because one thing about it, man, ain't no tape on Bijan yet. He ain't no tape. So you don't know. He's unpredictable right now. Ain't no tape. You don't know what running sets we're gonna run. Granted, yes, Detroit has a mean, strong, physical, young front seven. So does Green Bay, and they had no answer. Matter of fact, I might even be inclined to say that Green Bay's front seven is better. They weren't close. They weren't close to touching Bijan. So. And then another thing before I go, because I do got to go. My idea of opening up the offense, I was thinking about this as we've been talking, and we're talking about Miller. I want to see a deep shot on first. The very first play, I want to see a deep shot. I want to see a deep shot. I would love that. I want to see a deep shot. Show me. Not no trickery, not none of that. If it's mano y mano on the Z or the Y on the outside, I want to see that one-on-one bucket. I want to see it. I want to see it.
I agree. And Quentin also said they couldn't touch Kenneth, and Bijan is
better.
Oh, that's an interesting.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, it is. That's an interesting take.
I have to go back and see that game now because with him bringing that point up. But I know your phone about to go dead, but we will be back this week, guys. So
right on.
It was a great show, man. Glad to have
my
boy Julian on here. And until next time, this has been a post-game recap with Nate and Ju. Until next time, guys, have a good one.
Y'all be good.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.